In this video, we're going to be actually adding an explosion to our game panel class anytime a brick is broken. We're also going to do a little bit of restructuring, so we can kind of slim down parts of our program, and that restructuring is going to take the shape of creating a list of game entity objects so that we can just update them all at once rather than having them cycle over the ball and the paddle and everything else. So we are going to create a private list of game entity objects. That's our interface called entities, and we will add, because an explosion is a game entity and the paddle is a game entity. The bricks frankly probably should be game entities, but create class game entity, game entity. No, it's all good. What did I do? Did I add the wrong? I might have added the wrong Java list. Yeah, aught list. That always screws you up. So sometimes you can't add, or you think you're adding the list from the utility class. Just got to be careful. It's from Java util is the list we want. And then we should just be able to import game entity, right? Okay, so now once we have this private list, we need to initialize it in our constructor. So entities equals new array list of type game entity, and right now we're just going to add the entities, so the paddle and the ball. So entities dot add the paddle and entities dot add the ball. Okay. Oh yeah, we need to import array list. So now, underneath our update method, if you just scan down, rather than having the paddle.update and the ball.update, we're going to say for game entity to go over entities, and then we're going to just update them all. ge.update. We're also going to scroll down a little further, and in the draw method, rather than drawing the paddle and the ball, we are just going to use a similar enhanced for loop for game entity ge colon. So this is the type, this is a temporary container, and this is the list we want it to go over, entities. We are just going to say ge.draw g2. And now that will draw all of the entities in the list, including the explosions, the ball, and the paddle. And then, when we detect a collision has happened, under check collisions, so we're saying go over the bricks, each brick object. If the brick is active, if the ball collides with it, if it's an instance of a modifier, we set it to true, we set it to falling, else we just tell it that it got hit. And now here, we want to check if B, if not B, that get is active, so if it's been broken by this latest hit, then we want to entities dot add new explosion, and we need to tell it a couple things. So we need to say like the ball dot getX. Oops, we haven't done that method yet because we need to be able to tell where it is. We already have the position basically, right, because it's the rectangle. So we can say b.getRect.get min x. Sure, that'll be good enough. And then we can also say b.getRect.get min y. Sure. And then finally, we'll give it a color. So I'm just going to hit enter here so that you can still see. And then we have to give it a color. So new explosion, and then we'll just do color dot light gray, or dark gray at first. We can figure out what color we want to have it be. It's angry, I think, because I have to cast these. Oh no, we just have to import explosion. And then I think I have to cast these to ints. because they are doubles. Is it going to be happy with me yet? What's the trouble? Oh, is there a final? Right, I forgot num pieces. Alright, so we'll say at the end, how many pieces should we say? 20. Alright, I think that this is good. After we see if this is working in the next video, I'm going to show you how to clean up one other thing with respect to this. But let's see if it's going to run for us and actually cause some explosions to happen. No. No explosions are happening. Okay, I'm going to fix this and I'm going to come back at you in a minute. Alright, I figured out what was going on. There are a couple things. First of all, we're sitting in the min x. I shouldn't do that. It should be min y. And so this is the x coordinate. This is the y coordinate. We also, to make this thing a little bit look a little bit better, we'll have the explosion start from the middle of the brick. So you could say, like, we could create a getter method here for the brick's width and height. So public int get width, and then we're just going to return the width, and then we're going to say public int get height. We don't actually have to do this, but get height, return height, and so we can head back over to the game panel. So then we're going to say the minimum x position plus the height or the width plus b.getWidth divided by 2, and I'm going to cast this whole thing to an integer, and then down here you say int of b.getRect.minY plus b.getHeight divided by 2, and color.dark gray. That looks good. And there was one other thing in the explosion class. We have to add this couple lines of code because alpha cannot ever drop below 0 because there is no such thing as a more than totally transparent something. So we have to add an if check. We say if alpha is less than 0, we just want to set alpha to 0. So we can just kind of cap it at 0. Alpha equals 0, excuse me. And now I think if we run it, the program should actually be working. We shall see if the explosions pop up in the right places anyway. So if you watch the ball bounce around, it'll finally, there we go, there was an explosion. Yes, look at that, beautiful explosions. Although the color is a little awkward. I bet if we passed over color.cyan, it would look a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to do that. Let's do that quick, and then I will color.cyan, and I'm going to turn off, I have this play sound thing going that's bugging me. You can't hear it because it's in my headphones, but I'm totally going to take this sound effect out for right now. Alright, we're going to play it again and see if that looks better. Yeah, that looks pretty nice, don't you think? Plowy. And you can adjust the number of pieces. But it looks pretty good. Alright, that's plenty.